Ex-PlayStation boss Sean Layden says exclusivity is your Achilles heel if a game costs $200 million. I made a video where I said, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that PlayStation, that has money-headed Final Fantasy 16, is now a competitor in the same instance where the game is trying to make more money and expand to PC. It just happened to be that God of War Ragnarok is getting its PC release launch at almost the exact time as Final Fantasy 16. And when you look at Steam database, both games are pretty much hovering around a similar number of player counts. To this video, I've gotten PlayStation fans all riled up. They're coming out in the comment section yelling about how PlayStation is the best platform to play, all of this stuff, yada yada. Then I got a fanboy tell me that Final Fantasy 16 is a failure, the catastrophic failure on, the PC platform. And when I told him, well, the game just came out and it's been out for a while, so people are basically looking and saying, we're going to back burner this game until we're ready, they started to tell me that I'm damage controlling. I don't care about Final Fantasy. I don't even know how that will come into play. And so I was like, okay, so we're doing sales now for a game that is over a year old coming to another platform. When every single person knows that once your game is already out and it's not available on another platform, you've killed the momentum of your game. You cannot expect people to come in and pay full price for that game. If you really want to sell that game, you got to $39.99 it after you've left it away from another platform for a long period of time. If not, the $60 price tag, it just doesn't sit well. In fact, for those who are, for that person, and I don't want to show, their comment because it's under another comment for another person. So I want to keep everybody's, usernames out of this. But I just, it's one of those trust me things. You guys know me. Your comments drive like 90% of the content on this channel. So, having seen that, I thought, okay, why don't we go pull receipts? It's a good thing that we have Steam database, right? So right now, Final Fantasy 16 has 18,000 concurrent players. It's Saturday evening. There's a huge pool of gamers that are probably playing in this region anyways. Maybe in other regions, they're just waking up. Some are, finally just they've vegged all night, or I don't know what it is. But, this is just a snapshot. Look at God of War Ragnarok, about 18,000. It seems like there's it's really weird. They're both like hovering close to each other. But these games are old games. People look at it and say, why would I want to buy this game for $60 when it didn't show up on my doorstep? But then if you compare a game like Elden Ring, which was a day one game, a game that smoked God of War Ragnarok in the Game Awards, even if it didn't win a Game Award, it was still GOTY. Its DLC is even considered Game of the Year if you actually pay attention to it. I see all these people yelling, oh, Game of the Year contender, Astro Bot. I'm like, man, please get the heck out of here. I'm sorry, but are we really, how many of you actually played Astro Bot? Like, for real, tell me in the comment section if you did before you actually, tell me, oh, Astro Bot is a Game of the Year contender. Did you spend $60 on it? Because if you did, I hope you've been blowing 60 on, Mario's all over the place on the Switch, because that just seemed a little pretentious, and that's my opinion. I might be wrong, but prove me wrong, okay, if you can. And I'll be happy to, say, okay, you bought it and all of that stuff, but don't come out here telling me that. Some of you, let's just keep going, right? And then we look at a game like Cyberpunk 2077, 28,000 people, multi-platform launch. And then we look at Black Myth Wukong, 313,000 people. Your addressable market is smaller if you go and hide on PlayStation's platform. The truth is, PlayStation platform players mostly buy Call of Duty. There is data to support this. There are charts that we've looked at that we know of. Matt Piscatella, y'all drove him off of Twitter. He was bringing the data for you guys every month, showing you the monthly active user database. I have to go on LinkedIn these days, which is annoying to me, to go find the data sets. But that's what y'all are playing. You're playing Epic Games' Fortnite and EA Sport. Dude, I used to play on the PlayStation. I can show you my playtime. I think the last FIFA that I finally said, no, I'm not touching this game anymore, was like FIFA 19 or, I think 20 or so. I played FIFA, I played Pro Evolution, I played all these games on PlayStation. In fact, it was so crazy. You could only mod your, I think you can mod on PC too. I think I went to PC after for Pro Evolution. But those are the games that are being played on PlayStation. Mortal Kombat, everybody else's live service fighter or shooter. It's not these single player games en masse. If you really wanted to take into account what's going on, just look at the sales of what Call of Duty is going to do this year on PlayStation compared to any PlayStation game. So this whole talk about, PC players don't buy, what the heck is that kind of a conclusion over a game that, PlayStation decided to money hat and then come around the corner and launch, a PC game around the same time, which pretty much you can tell that they're going to, they're going to be in competition. I mean, in the seller list. And God of War is smoking it because in the top 8 games, God of War is, ranked higher on Steam. So this is very interesting at the end of the day. And I would love for people to just not deflect. Don't deflect. There's no reason to try to, switch the conversation up. It's just the reality. It's just the reality. And I'm just here to point it out. I'm not going to sit there and try to, that's not how I operate. I really love for us as a community of gamers to point out where the flaws are. There's no more, not in my case anyways, there's no more excusing this craziness that's going on in the gaming industry just because, we were naive when we were much younger and we thought this was it was a good thing that PlayStation was being, in quote, competitive. Well, Square Enix can eat that competition for all I care. They're the ones who decided to go keep their game and money had it. Now they're reporting in their own financial reports that, their games did not meet their profit expectations. And add that to other losses that they took in going to pursue the superhero game route with Marvel. That's very expensive, by the way. They just have not, been prudent in those titles. And it's business. You hit some, you miss some. Not saying anything, but, it's just one of those things where they just have to own it. And they understand, and so now they're changing their business paradigm. They're going to sell their game anywhere. 1 million copies is better than sitting on PlayStation for a year and then getting ignored or getting competed against by PlayStation themselves. Even if they sold 1 copy on Xbox, it's still better. It's still better on the long run. For their own brand, for their brand, it's much better. But that's my video, man. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate the comments. They keep them coming. Have a good day. Peace out.